Yeah, this is our favourite spot down here. The sun sets perfectly just below where the aircraft is now. It's just incredible. And although you get the odd train going over there, freights usually, that's a freight line, and the trains do run back in after a day's commuting. But yeah, and there's a little bit of construction work going off, but you'll see the sunset here coming up in the main titles now. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's a channel dedicated to the gentle life with Levi and Diesel and my beautiful wife. We gave up bricks and mortar in 2015 for a fresh start and a new life on the water. And do we ever look back? Well, no we don't. Why? Because it's a far simpler life. I know we're not all brilliant at going through locks. I have my problems. I mean, at the moment I've had to pull my boat right back because of that bywash. I just can't get off this wall. So there was a boat going into Western Lock, and as he came by, he just brushed up against the boat, because when you go into a lock, you aim for the bywash, and then what it does, it pushes you over, right? And when there's two boats going in at the same time, one of you has to pull in, which kind of makes it difficult at Western. But with that being said, goes into the lock and it starts flashing all over the place. He's not using his centre line. He's got somebody with him, and he's not roping them up, and it just made it difficult. And then he says, can I bring my boat in and push him over? And I thought, no way, I've just painted the boat. Now, I know that canal rash is a reality, but I'm not using my boat. Brand new paint, push his boat over, just to suit his expectations of going in this lock. The gates are heavy. I think it's 2,790 kg. That per gate, I think that is. Brand new gates, installed in 2019. Really heavy. But we've just let him go through on his own. But there is a boat on the other side that's going to come through. They're going to lock through. But I'm not using my boat to wedge another boat, because they're not using their centre line. And I'm not educating people on how to do that, because there's enough information, like on CRT's websites, of how to manage your boat through locks, how to manage the elm, and all the other stuff that you need to know is all on CRT's website. There's some instructional videos, just access them. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a link to some of them in this video, just to educate yourself on going in and going out of the lock. There is an etiquette, and it must be followed. You know, all selfishness has to be put to one side. Your expectations of how you navigate the canals, it's like the roads. People use like the middle lane when they should be like in the first lane, and then to overtake in the second lane, not stay in the second lane. It's a similar etiquette out here on the canals, and some people do well to remember that. Rant over. Obviously didn't heed the sign. Let me show you what happens to a bridge when a wide beam gets stuck underneath it. There you go, look. That's the result of a wide beam getting stuck under this bridge. There, last year, last May 2024. One of the boaters that we got acquainted with, many years ago, he had a lovely old working boat, and then he traded it in against a wide beam. He took it out of Wellington down at Mercia. He got to the first bridge. As soon as he found the nearest winding hole, he took it back and got his old boat back. You can only guess why. That bridge and bridges like it. Quite scary. And would you believe it, with all my experience, tragedy struck in one of the locks. Listen to this. Caught the front fender, the button on the front of the boat, in the lock, on the sill, believe it or not. Oh God. Schoolboy error, but I was propelling forward and I accidentally slipped and accelerated, and the boat lunged forward and took the fender off, the button at the front. So I've just spent the last 2 hours putting it back on, because it's not easy, because it was hanging right underneath the bow of the boat. So I had to get a rope, tether it round it, and then just stand on the bow of the boat at the top where the gas locker is and return it to the top, and in doing so realised that the chain had actually snapped. But I've got some chain, some brand new chain, and cut it to suit and reattached it, and it's all good again. I suppose you could make an entire video around something like that, and I'm sure that some channels will, but no, it's just one of them things. You have to accept that these things happen. If you let it stress you out, then you've missed the point. You don't understand. Yeah, look at that. Hope mum protecting the babies from the errand, no doubt. You've just got to understand that that's all a part of it. I could let it get to me. Like the solar panels are absolutely full of dust because of the rain last night, because there's so much dust in the air. The rain's just brought it all down, and you could get really depressed about it, because we've spent quite a lot of time painting the boat, polishing the boat. But it only takes one night or one day's worth of rainfall with all the dust that's in the air and the summer the way it's been. We're not even really into summer yet, are we? It's just brought it all down on top of the boat, and poor old Trish, she's on edge a little bit, because she takes a lot of pride in cleaning the boat and keep making sure it's pristine. It's 25 years old, and I think, given the condition of the boat and the fact that the paintwork is pretty good for its age, in fact quite a few people have remarked on it, even people that restore cars, vintage cars and boats, vintage boats in fact, to their former glory. They've mentioned how well the paintwork is, and it's down to Trish with the autoglyn. We use autoglyn to clean it, so there you go. But once we've moored up later, we'll get it all back to pucker again, hopefully. Are you protecting your nest? You are, aren't you? I was hoping to get down at Schwartzton Lock. I was hoping to get down the Derby Canal, but unfortunately I've had a few maintenance issues with the boat I've got to sort out, so I'm going to have to forego that. So I'm going to have to come back down this way again. So close, yet so far away. Yeah, it's been a while since I shared a lock with someone, so at the old junction to Derby Canal. Now Derby Boat Club. CRT are putting anti-slip on. It's got the material down there. They're just helping people lock through, but they're putting new anti-slip on there. They took the old off and they're going to put new on. But this was the bit I was hoping to get to see today, down on the old Derby Canal. I've got a bunch of restoration videos on the channel now. Actually, I think the Derby have got high hopes for getting this open, if you want my honest opinion. Obviously it works with water management, which is a real issue, although this year in 2025 we've had very little rain, and the system is suffering as a consequence. There are low water levels all across the old navigable canal system.
Is that a train line
SSJs. SSJs too, those lines down there. Well, this is Stenson lock. It is lock number 6 on the Trent and Mersey Canal, bridge 19. And of course the last of the double locks, the heavy gates, so on and so forth. And then it's onwards and upwards down there, down to Wellington, where the Trent and Mersey narrows out so that wide beams are left firmly behind us. Don't have to worry about those kinds of boats. And while this video plays out just here, thanks very much for watching. We're going to trade off all this noise for peace and tranquility as the day draws to a close. And there's something magical about being inside this steel shell of an evening, especially with the sun setting low, the reflections on the water. It's great just to lay down and watch, especially in a quiet location. Hi, and if you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you did this with your favourite narrowboating channel, I'm sure that they would appreciate it just as much as I do. Please hit the like button and then hit the hype button, which you can do anything up to 3 times in 1 week on anybody's video. You could even use it 3 times on mine. Share this video, hit the bell for notification of future videos as they arrive on the channel. And don't forget, subscribing is absolutely free. We charge nothing on this channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you all again in my next video. Take care.